So guess what? Let's play some Mavericks football.
And we want to welcome everybody to Coastal Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium here in Eagle Pass. Morris Lipson Jr. and Ruben Valadez along with you live here for this game between the Nixon Mustangs and the CC Winn Mavericks, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Here come the Mavericks out of the tunnel. You can see them down there on the field, coming out with their home uniforms, those black jerseys, black pants with gray sleeves and gray piping down the side, white helmets. And Morris, as we bring you into the broadcast, we talked about it at the prediction show. It's for real now. It's the start of district play for the Mavericks, and they've got to get it done tonight against the Nixon Mustangs.
It is from here on out. And like Coach Eric Villaseñor said at the prediction show, for the next 8 weeks, every single one of them counts now toward district. Only 4 out of those 9 teams in the district will make the playoffs. So every game is important. Tonight, I guess a little bit of an emotional game also for Eric Villaseñor, his father, Oki Villaseñor, longtime veteran coach, mentor to so many of almost to all of these guys that are coaching the Eagles and the Mavericks, is on the other side as the defensive coordinator.
That's right. For those of you that are wondering about the Eagles last night, the Eagles were in Laredo. They had a 49-14 victory. We've got the coin toss coming up here at halftime. We've got some shadows over Coastal Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. We hope will go away as the sun sets. Eagles won 49-14 against a team from the Valley yesterday in Laredo. Very important. We got some information yesterday. It was Coach Tom Gonzalez's 100th victory as a head coach for Eagle Pass High School.
We do want to send out a congratulations. 100 victories are easily said, hard to come by. So we want to congratulate Eagle Pass Sports Central. You and I, Ruben, want to congratulate Coach Tom Gonzalez on his 100th win as the Eagles head coach.
Got the coin flip going on at midfield, as usually happens a little bit before the playing of the anthem and the alma maters and all that. They switched it up a little bit. It's parents' night here tonight for the Mavericks. There is the coin flip. The Mavericks have won the toss. Our referee this afternoon is Eric Smith. And Mr. Smith will give us the call here in just a moment. We want to thank all of you who are joining us here on Eagle Pass Sports Central, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. The Mavericks won the toss, have deferred, and so Nixon will be receiving to start the game.
Ruben, the Nixon Mustangs, with, of course, their green and gold are their colors. I don't know whether to call that gold or yellow, right? But it is green and gold traditionally. They are in got those green numbers, and the rest of the uniform is all gold, including the helmets. So we should have no problem distinguishing the colors tonight between the Mavericks and the Mustangs.
It's kind of a color rush game down below between these two teams. Of course, J.W. Nixon High School, one of the older high schools in Laredo. Martin was the original one, and then Nixon came along sometime after that. You know this, partner. You used to play basketball with the Eagles, and you've done a lot of officiating over the years. Nixon and Eagle Pass, a decades-long rivalry at this point.
Back in the old days, especially in basketball. We're ready here for they're going to tee it up. The Mavericks will be defending the north goal, which will be, as you look at our screen, they'll be going from left to right across your screen.
Kickoff is just about to get underway. Number 82, Daniel Rodriguez, will be kicking off. It will be fielded at about the 16-yard line by number 21 for the Mustangs. That is Sean Haynes, and Haynes returns that to the 30-yard line. That is where the Mustangs will start their first drive of the game.
Number 56, Angel Esquivel, made the first contact to bring him down. And here we go as we start this ball game. It will be interesting to see what kind of offensive scheme the Mustangs come out with here.
See what the Mustangs are able to do here. Quarterback is number 1, Ray Gonzalez, standing in the shotgun. There was some movement maybe along the line. No flag, though. They'll reset the offense. And Gonzalez in the shotgun with 3 receivers on the far side. Now takes the snap, drops back, trying to evade the Maverick pressure, still on his feet. Here comes the Maverick defense. They're going to sack him back here behind the 25 at about the 24-yard line. Big number 57 there for the Mavericks. Angel Cavazos, the defensive tackle, in on that stop.
Along with number 28, Dante De Leon also in on the tackle, and they dropped him for a sizable loss, about 6 yards, Ruben.
It's a 6-yard sack back here at the 24-yard line. Here come the Mustangs now on 2nd and 16. The handoff now, no, it's a keeper, and the pass is complete up the near hash mark to number 24, Thomas Limon, one of the leading receivers for the Mustangs, and Limon gets Nixon a first down.
That surprised the Maverick defense. It was a good fake into the belly of the running back, and then he threw it over the middle.
At the 42-yard line now are the Mustangs. Gonzalez will come to the line with 3 receivers over on the right side of the formation and 1 left here, running back behind him in the pistol. Gonzalez takes the snap, rolls right. The pass is incomplete, intended over on the right flat for Thomas Limon, again, one of the leading receivers for the Mustangs, and it brings up a 2nd and 10.
Pretty good job of ball handling by the quarterback, number 1, Ray Gonzalez. A little dangerous pass there over on the far side, that flat.
Could have been picked up, maybe called a fumble. It's an incomplete pass, and it brings up 2nd and 10. Gonzalez has a hard count that he does there from the backfield, and he's trying to get the Maverick defense offsides on a couple of these. They've been good in being disciplined. Here is Gonzalez again, dropping back, looks left. The pass is incompleted and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Alexis Aldaña. There is a flag on the back end, a late flag. Jonathan Salayandia was there defending that, and we'll get the call from the official downstairs.
I want to think, well, Eric, Coach Eric Villaseñor's not happy about it. As he asked the official, what did you call? And the minute he told him, he kind of shook his head and said, oh.
This is going to be stepped off against the Mavericks. The ball is going to end up on the Mavericks side of the field now at the 48-yard line after the penalty.
We're in the first quarter here. Nixon against the Mavericks.
1st and 10 now for the Mustangs. Ball on the near hash mark at the 48-yard line in Maverick territory. Gonzalez from the shotgun. 3 receivers over to the right side. Again, they'll take a look over to the sideline for the play call. He'll come set again. There's the snap. Here's the first run of the ball game. The handoff is to Ben Limon, and Limon gashes the Maverick defense for about 7 yards there to the 42-yard line.
Fine job of Gonzalez setting that up. He faked into the belly of his running back the 2 or 3 previous times and threw a pass, and that time he handed it off to the first man through.
2nd and 4 coming up for the Mustangs. He'll take the snap from the pistol. He'll keep it himself. Will Gonzalez rolls right, slides down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard to the 43.
Well, he either slid down or the turf monster got him, because she sure went down in a hurry.
He might have been able to stay up and maybe try to juke a defender, but I think you're right, partner. I think he slipped there right at around the 43-yard line. 3rd and 5 now for the Mustangs in between the hash marks. Again, 3 receivers stacked over on the far side of the formation. Quick pass here. It's a slant. It's caught at about the 38-yard line, and down the field rumbles number 25, Brandon Pulido. And Pulido gets a first down for the Mustangs at the 32-yard line.
The Maverick defensive secondary's got to do some adjusting. He was wide open there in between the seams.
Salayandia on the tackle to stop Pulido. Again, Gonzalez from the shotgun. He'll look over to the far side. This time the ball is on the far hash mark. 3 receivers here to the near side. 1 split out wide right. The snap for Gonzalez. He'll hand off to Limon, and Limon is brought down in the backfield by Moises Toscano, the senior defensive end.
Very good penetration by Toscano, who came in and caught him in the backfield.
Ball is at the 33-yard line. 2nd and 11 coming up now for the Mustangs. 8:55 left in the first quarter. Still scoreless. Here's Nixon with its first drive of the game. Stepping up at the pocket is Gonzalez. There's a pass. It's caught by Saldaña at the 18-yard line. Alexis Aldaña catches the ball, goes all the way to the far side of the field, and is finally pushed out over on the far end zone right at about the 9-yard line. 56, Angel Esquivel there for the tackle.
Let me tell you, Ruben, they haven't figured out, the Maverick defense hasn't figured out this offense yet, have they?
Multidimensional. He's thrown already to about 3 or 4 different receivers, and Gonzalez is in a rhythm. He'll keep it himself here, try the right side of the line, puts his head down. They'll give him the 8-yard line for forward progress, and a gang of Mavericks is there to stop him in on that tackle. Number 33, Michael Hernandez.
Gonzalez going to the far side of the field. He was thinking of going wide, and then he cut inside, but there was some Maverick resistance there.
2nd and goal now for the Mustangs from the 8-yard line. Nixon offense will look over to the far sideline for the call. Again, this is the first Nixon drive of the game inside the 10-yard line of the Mavericks. 7:48 left in the first quarter. Quick pass. Aldaña catches it at about the 7 and gets inside the 5 before being brought down there by number 34, Astrubal Ruiz.
Ruben, I wonder what, I'm looking at what they do. They set up, and then they look over to get the play.
They do. This is 3rd and goal now for the Mustangs. A run play here is stopped at about the 3. No gain there. Ben Limon, the ball carrier. And it's decision time now for the Nixon Mustangs on a 4th and goal from about the 3-yard line.
That was a little quick pitch out to Ben Limon that did not get him in the end zone. And they're going to go for it.
Here comes the Nixon offense. Gonzalez will be under center now at about the 3-yard line, and the Maverick defense will use their first timeout of the ball game.
The Maverick coaching staff got a little excited there. They were calling for a timeout.
They were able to get it, and we'll take a timeout as well. Ready to go down on the field after the Mavericks' first timeout of the game. 6:54 left in the first quarter. And the Nixon Mustangs knocking on the door. Gonzalez under center, drops back, looking for someone in the end zone. The pass is caught for the touchdown by Carlos Jimenez, who plays both ways, listed as a defensive end, but did a good job there, Morris, from the tight end position at the end of the line, sneaking about 5-6 yards into the end zone, and Gonzalez found him there for the first score.
Big, tall Carlos Jimenez, I might add, because that pass was sort of looped over the 2 defensive backs that were on him, and he made a really fine catch for the touchdown.
That score for Nixon comes with 6:52 in the first quarter. Point after attempt coming up. The kick is up, and it is good by Aldaña, and that makes the score Mustangs 7, Mavericks nothing. Back with you here, getting ready for the kickoff. After that Nixon score 7-0 is the Nixon lead for now. That ball will go over the head of Fernando Vasquez. Is that a live ball? Vasquez has to pick it up. Now he's coming down the sideline. They're going to say he stepped out over here. Who ended up with that ball? We'll get a number for you
Number
downstairs. That is Fernando Vasquez, who had it go over his head initially. And Morris had no choice. That's a live ball on a kickoff. Had no choice but to pick it up close to the end zone and run it back.
He surprised us all. I think he touched it when it went over his head, and then he had to bring it back, and actually didn't do a bad job, because if he tiptoed down the near sideline and actually got it out to the 15-yard line.
So from the 15 will go the Mavericks, trailing 7-0 against the Mustangs here. 6:46 left on the clock in the first quarter. Cardona comes to throw, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Vasquez over on the left flat. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Cardona faked the handoff to Jeremiah Robinson, who was coming to the near side of the field, and had pressure on him as he threw that football, and it was short.
2nd and 10 now for the Mavericks from the 15-yard line. Cardona from the shotgun takes the snap. The handoff is to Jeremiah Robinson, who goes right into the teeth of that Mustang defense. Is able to go to the 23-yard line. It looks like 22 is what they'll give him. The 17 is what they'll give him. They were at the 15-yard line, so a 2-yard gain there.
Well, the Nixon defense pretty much knows who they have to key on tonight, and they'll be keying on Jeremiah Robinson.
Going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 now for the Mavericks from the 22-yard line. Cardona in the shotgun with a wingman on his left, and Robinson in the backfield. He'll drop back to pass, looks right. There's the pass, and it is incomplete, intended down here on the comeback for Sebastian Vasquez. And Vasquez was unable to get back to the ball. The Maverick punting unit will have to come out after a 3-and-out in the Mavericks' first drive of the ball game.
Mavericks were asking for interference there, but no, there was no flag, and they're quickly going to have to punt this football away.
5:58 left in the first quarter. Aldaña back here at the 45, waiting for this kickoff, for this punt, rather. Punt is on its way from Sergio Valdez, and it takes a very good Maverick bounce into Nixon territory and goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Well, Ruben, after the Maverick offense goes 3-and-out, again, the Maverick defense will be put to the test very quickly by a Nixon Mustang offense that really looked really diversified in their first drive.
Had a good rhythm. Their first drive started back at their own 30-yard line, and even including a couple of sacks and losses, they were able to march it all the way down the field for a 3-yard touchdown pass. Gonzalez now from the shotgun. The handoff here is to Limon, number 3, and Limon gets to the second level there, and he'll get a first down as he's down at the 42-yard line now in Maverick territory.
Limon, number 3, a real nifty runner. He's not very big, but by the looks of things, he's lightning quick.
1st and 10 now for the Mustangs from the Maverick 42-yard line. 5.5 minutes left here. Again, Limon with the carry. He's spun around, but continues to grind right to the line to get actually 1 yard past it to the 31-yard line as the Maverick defenders caught up to him there.
Well, it's working, so don't expect to see Limon to probably keep running the football here.
Limon continues in the backfield. Ball is at the 31-yard line. First down for the Mustangs. And there you called it, partner. Again, the handoff to Limon, who tries the left side of the line and gets tripped up as he nears the 25, is down at the 26-yard line, a 5-yard gain. And all of a sudden, the Mustangs, who passed a lot in the first series, are completely staying on the ground now.
Ruben, we've got, you look at number 77 on the offensive line. That is a big young man.
Monster left guard there for the Nixon Mustangs. Again, Limon with the carry. Gets stood up at the 25. They'll give him the 25 as forward progress. It's a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs.
And I'll give you an idea how big number 77, Anthony Palacios, is. His jersey doesn't fit him.
It's fitting a little snug down there on Mr. Palacios. Ball on the near hash mark, 3rd and 5. 3rd and 3, rather, coming up here for the Mustangs. No passes yet in this series, and they'll continue that trend as they hand off to Limon, who tries to turn the corner on the far side, puts up a stiff arm. Good job by the Maverick defense of stringing him out. Salayandia over there on the far sideline, along with Astrubal Ruiz, take him out just a couple of yards shy of the line to get for a first down, the 24.
He is short, and they're going to go on it here for it.
It's got to be a 4th and 2. Quarterback keeper. Gonzalez follows that massive line, and he'll get a first down. It looks like from here. They're going to mark him down at the 22, and that should be enough to move the chains.
Very quickly did they line up in a very, very tight formation for the quarterback sneak.
Quarterback sneak. Gonzalez followed his center and his 2 guards to get the first down. 1st and 10 now for the Mustangs from the 22-yard line. 7-0 is the Mustang lead. 3:24 left here in the first quarter. Gonzalez drops back to pass now, looks left, lets the pass go. It's caught by Aldaña at the 4-yard line, and he will go into the end zone for the Mustang touchdown.
You know, Gonzalez also proving to us tonight that he can throw the football very, very well.
A 22-yard touchdown strike from Gonzalez to their all-around Aldaña, who will stay on now to kick the point after attempt. And it makes the score 13-0 in favor of the Mustangs with the point after attempt coming up.
So very quickly, the Mustangs up 13-0 here. They've scored on their first 2 possessions. Here comes the point after.
Aldaña is on for the point after attempt. Still in the first quarter, 3:14 to go. Aldaña, the left-footed kicker, sets the kick up, and it is good. It'll make the score Nixon 14, Mavericks nothing. Kickoff after the touchdown will go into the end zone for a touchback. The Mavericks will start up here at the 20-yard line, 25-yard line.
Ruben, Nixon has scored on his first 2 possessions to take a quick 14-0 lead, and the Mavericks offense last time went to 3 and out. So most certainly they need to respond here in this possession.
Mavericks need to do something here, down 14-0 already with 3:14 left in the first quarter. The Mavericks will start from their own 25-yard line. That's a direct snap to Jeremiah Robinson, and Robinson caught the Mustang defense by surprise. Will get to the 31-yard line.
You just joined us. 2:55 left in the first quarter. 14-0. The Nixon Mustangs lead the CC Winn Mavericks.
2nd and 4 now for the Mavericks. That's kind of manageable down and distance you want if you're this Maverick offense. You don't want to put yourself in long down and distance situations. From the 31-yard line, Cardona in the shotgun with 3 receivers over to the far side. He's got Jeremiah Robinson on his right. He'll take the snap, keeps it himself, comes here to the near side, tries the right side of the line, and he gets gobbled up at the 31-yard line for no gain. In among those tacklers, number 32, Edgar Chavez, along with Aldaña, who kicks, plays offense, plays defense, does it all for the Nixon Mustangs.
He's gonna be a busy young man tonight as he goes both ways. And Cardona not able to come across the right side of the line and gets some yardage.
The 31-yard line is the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Mavericks. Cardona in the shotgun with 2 backs in the backfield with him. The handoff is to Robinson, who cannot turn the corner down here on the near side. He'll lose a couple of yards to the 29 on a sweep play. Brings up a 4th now and about 6 for the Mavericks, and the punting unit will take the field.
Number 30, Jalen Ramirez, strung him out, and guess who was there also to make the tackle? Alexis Aldaña on Jeremiah Robinson.
Aldaña also now will return the punt. Back here at his own 45-yard line. Sergio Valdez ready for the kick to receive the snap on the punt. It's a good snap. He'll put it high up in the air and almost straight up. It hits at the 35 and then actually takes a very good Maverick roll all the way to the Nixon side of the field. And that home turf advantage, if you want, really helped the Mavericks there.
I'll tell you what. That went more yardage after it bounced than what it did on the kick. So a really big break for the Mavericks on that punt to get that punt inside Mustang territory at the 48.
55 seconds left in the first quarter. Mavericks trailing 14-0, and the Nixon Mustangs will start their 3rd drive of the ball game from their own 48-yard line. We'll wait for the officials to wind the clock. The Mavericks have some defensive alignment issues.
94, something happened there. Equipment problem, I think.
I think the officials asked them to go off the field, and the Mavericks are still bringing defensive players onto the field here now that the clock has wound. Gonzalez is in the shotgun. Got a wing player on his right, 2 receivers over on the far side, and 1 split out wide left here. That's Aldaña here on the near side, matched up man-to-man. This is a handoff to Limon. Limon finds some room between the guard and the tackle over on the right side of the line and keeps running all the way to the far sideline before being taken out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Jonathan Salayandia on that.
Limon kept running to the far side, followed his blockers really, really well, and actually got a lot of yardage on the far side.
First down from the 39-yard line for the Mustangs. Gonzalez from the far hash mark now has 3 receivers. He'll switch a man over to the right slot. Aldaña and Thomas Limon, Ben's brother, down here on the near side. 47 seconds left in the first quarter. Gonzalez setting up the screen pass. It's incomplete, intended over on the far side for Sean Hayes.
You know, Ruben, I really believe that the offensive coordinator over there on the far side of the field, they set up in a formation, does a hard count, then he pulls back, and I think they actually changed the play depending on how the Mavericks are looking on defense.
That's exactly what happens. He looks over, the offensive coordinator takes a look at the Maverick defense, and then makes a late call into the quarterback. Gonzalez now dropping back to pass, steps up in the pocket, looks right. The pass is caught at the 25-yard line over on the far side of the field by Brandon Pulido. Very nearly intercepted over there by Jaime Barrientos, the linebacker.
Actually, that hit the receiver in the hands, kind of popped out and bounced off of the defensive back, and he caught it on the rebound.
Ball is set at the 25-yard line. It's going to be a Nixon 1st and 10 from there. Under 20 seconds left in the clock here in the first quarter. Gonzalez from the shotgun will take the snap, looks right immediately, pumps, now brings it down, steps up in the pocket, lets the pass go, and it is incomplete. Intended right down the middle of the field for Sean Haynes. 7 seconds left in the first quarter as the clock stops on the incompletion.
Gonzalez pumped to the far side of the field, and then that was a bullet pass to his receiver over the middle, and he dropped it, of course, but I'm very impressed with Gonzalez's arm and with his accuracy so far.
A real bullet pass into coverage. Here's a little screen pass, a little bubble screen intended again for Haynes over on the far side. Incomplete, and the clock stops with 1 second left on the clock in the first quarter.
And it is a 3rd and 10 from that point, from the 25.
Boy, this would really be good for the Maverick defense to stand up here and not allow any points on this drive. 1 second left in the first quarter. 14-0 is the Nixon lead. Gonzalez with 1 tick left on the clock in the first quarter from the shotgun. Looks over to the far side to get the call. They'll move to the pistol now with Limon behind him. The delayed handoff is to Limon. Limon's still on his feet, juking around a bunch of Maverick defenders and gets inside the 15 to the 13-yard line and gets a first down, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter. We'll take some time to switch sides of the field. Maverick band with Hey Baby here over to our right. We'll start the second quarter now with the Mustangs leading 14-0.
And Ruben, they're knocking on the door again.
We've switched sides of the field. Mavericks defending the south end zone now. From the near hash mark, Gonzalez from the shotgun on a 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Here are the pre-snap adjustments for the Mustangs. He'll move Limon over to his left. The handoff is to Limon, who follows big number 7, right side of the line. And he's got himself a convoy still on his feet. They'll finally give him forward. They'll stop his forward progress inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. A bunch of Mavericks in on that tackle, including Isaac Maldonado, the senior linebacker.
They pulled number 77 over to the right side of the line, and Limon actually came over from the left side, lining up on the left side of his quarterback in the shotgun.
It'll be a 2nd and 5 from there. Nixon can still get a first down at about the 3-yard line. Gonzalez in the shotgun. The handoff to Limon, who hurdles the man at the line of scrimmage inside the 5 now, and he's pushed back right at the line to get for a first down. They'll mark him down at the 3-yard line, and it's going to be a 1st and goal for Nixon from there.
11:05 left here before the half. 14-0, Mustangs leading, and they're again knocking on the door at the Maverick 2-3-yard line.
I want to thank all of you for joining us here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Gonzalez this time under center in a tight formation. The end around and in for the Nixon touchdown is number 24, Thomas Limon, and it's a Limon running feast here for the Mustangs. It makes the score for the moment 20-0 in favor of the Nixon Mustangs.
So Ruben, so far, very impressive offensive scheme being run here by the Nixon Mustangs against the Mavericks. A quick 21-0 lead.
Aldaña will come on for the point after attempt. Somebody's down over for the Mavericks. The training staff will go over and take a look. Mavericks have used 1 timeout so far in this half. I don't think anybody's down. It looks like maybe we've got a bit of a rough patch near the goal line over there, and the Maverick trainers are going over there to maybe try to cover that up or clean that up with a a little bit of water. There's a Nixon coach more standing right there at about the 5-yard line, way onto the field. I don't know if that's head coach Benny Cabello or not, but there's some maybe tending to the turf there. Yes.
It is very unusual, by the way, and to see exactly what's going on there.
Try to take a look. See what the issue is down there. It's maybe at about the 1-yard line on the far hash mark. And I don't know exactly. Doc Argenbright is out there now looking at the turf down there. I don't believe there's a player down over there.
You think it might be a stain or something? Huh?
I don't know what that could be that they're looking at, but Dwight Argenbright has his whole staff, his whole training staff around him there as they tend to a particular part of the field.
Looks like he was cleaning something up.
Yeah, might have been something that needed tending to over there. In any case, the score for now, Nixon 20, Mavericks 0 with 10:44 left here in the first half. Aldaña will come on for the point after attempt. His holder is his quarterback, Ray Gonzalez. And so if there's ever a bad snap, you know that Gonzalez can pick that up and try to do something with it. Aldaña, a left-footed kicker. This will be his third point after attempt of the ball game, and like the previous two, it is good that makes the score Nixon 21, Mavericks nothing. And we will be right back live with you here from the Sac and Eagle Pass. Here's the kickoff after that touchdown. 21-0 is the Mustang lead. This will be fielded at the 25-yard line by Brian Cruz. And Cruz for the Mavericks brings it here to the near side and is finally brought down at the 38-yard line. That's where the Mavericks will start. That is their best starting field position of the game thus far, with 10:38 left in the first half. And now the Maverick offense, Morris, really has to get going.
Well, then they're in dire need of sustaining a drive and using up some clock, and not only using up some clock, but putting it in the end zone at the end of their drive.
Ball on the near hash mark at the 38-yard line. Cardona from the shotgun. 3 receivers over to the far side. Shotgun snap. Hands off to Robinson. Robinson stiff arms a man at the 35-yard line, and he'll be taken back for a loss of about a yard over there. A bunch of tacklers. Number 9, number 19, J.J. Ortiz, the linebacker, in.
You know, Ruben, Jeremiah Robinson just has not found any openings, any holes to run through. He comes and then he's strung out, and by that time the Nixon pursuit gets him. But there is no doubt that they're keying on him tonight. The Mavericks are going to have to go to somebody else to try to get some offense going.
They're going to have to diversify. That Nixon defense is keying in on all the right people. This is the second Maverick timeout of the first half. 9:57 left here in the second quarter. The Mavericks are down 21-0. Here come the Mavericks on a second and 11 from the 37-yard line. Cardona takes a snap, rolls to his left, still looking downfield. There's a pass. It is batted down by who else? Alexis Aldaña at the 40-yard line, and it brings up a third and 11 for the Mavericks.
Really good penetration by the Mustang front four that flushed Cardona out toward the left side, toward the near sideline, and he just had no choice but to try to throw on the run, and he just couldn't throw it over Aldaña.
9:49 left in the second quarter. Mavericks trailing 21-0 against the Nixon Mustangs in the Mavericks' first district game of the season. Cardona takes a shotgun snap, drops straight back, looks downfield on the far side. He's got a man open, and the pass is caught. Oh, intercepted at the 29-yard line by Angel Carrillo, the senior defensive back. It was a 50-50 ball, Morris, the receiver and the defensive back, that was intended for Sebastian Vasquez, a battle of number fours, and Carrillo came down with it.
Well, Carrillo had the defensive position as he was in front of Vasquez, and the ball just came down. Actually, Vasquez tried as best as he could to try to wrestle that football away.
And so the Mustangs now will start from their own 29-yard line with 9:39 left in the second quarter, leading 21-0 against the Mavericks. Gonzalez again from the shotgun, two receivers tied in on the formation on either side. They'll look over to the far sideline for the adjustment based on the Mavericks defense. And now Gonzalez will call out the new play to his line and his receivers. He's got Ben Limon on his right. Now he'll put the other Limon in motion, and the flip is to number 24, Thomas Limon. And Limon comes here to the near hash mark and crosses the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Limon came from the far side of the field for a little inside pitch out, or pitch in, you might want to call it, and was able to get to the 36.
Going to be a 3rd and 4 from the 36-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Gonzalez again changing the play at the line. Man in motion to the far side of the formation. Fumble on the snap, and Gonzalez can do nothing but fall on it at the 32-yard line. Number 33, Michael Hernandez, the defensive end, was there to give him a scare.
One of the few times we've actually seen him not have his rhythm going, as that ball actually dropped it, and just all he could do was fall on it.
And it's going to make it a 3rd and 7 now after that sack for the Mustangs. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. The big tight end, Carlos Jimenez, split out wide right down here to the near side. Gonzalez drops back, being chased now, rolls right, avoids a couple of tacklers, but can't get past all of the Maverick defense. Number 32, Luis Leos, in on that tackle, and the Maverick defense is now forced a 4th down and a punt from the Nixon Mustangs.
94, Moises Toscano also there. And this, I believe, will be their first punt of the football game.
It will. This is their 4th possession. They've scored 3 touchdowns in their first 3 possessions. And the Maverick defense doing a good job of stopping them there. The line of scrimmage is a 33, ball on the near hash mark. Aldaña will be punting off. High snap, manages to get it down and get a line drive kick off that will hit and then take a good Nixon bounce all the way inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That's where the Mavericks will set up shop.
The Mustangs getting all the bounces tonight. The snap was high. He went up and got it, Aldaña did. And then a line drive kick to number 9, Jonathan Salayandia just did not come up the field, and the ball rolled all the way inside the 20.
Mavericks will start at the 18 with 7:15 left in the first half. Tight formation now. Only one man split out wide right, and Cardona under center. He'll hand off to the up man in the formation. That's Jeremiah Robinson with the carry, and Robinson gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Had a little bit of a scuffle going on over there on the far side. I thought the football was over there, but Robinson had it over here on the near hash mark.
Good ball handling there on that tight formation by Cardona, handing it off to Robinson. 2nd and 7 from the 21-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Cardona again is going to be under center with 2 running backs behind him and a wingman over on the right. Rolls right, looking for Luis Leos, and Leos makes the catch. I believe that's who comes up with the ball.
Looks like 22.
22, Domingo Hernandez, the senior halfback, with the catch, and he should have just enough for a Maverick first down.
And I think there's a flag over there, right?
There is a flag right at the end of the play.
One of the Maverick players saying it was a face mask.
6:28 left in the second quarter. It is indeed a face mask against Nixon. They'll step off 15 yards. And the ball now will be at the 43-yard line. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Mavericks from there. 6:28 left in the second quarter. Mavericks trailing 21-0. Cardona this time from the shotgun. Will hand off to Robinson, who gets tripped up as soon as he gets the handoff. He'll be downed at the 41-yard line. A loss of 2 yards on the play brings up 2nd and 12 for the Mavericks.
Actually looked like Robinson took the handoff and was trying to sort of change directions and slipped and went down. Tried to get back up, but he was already down.
6:02 now, under 6 minutes left in the second quarter. 21-0 is the Nixon lead. We'll get some scores from around the area for you for the second half. Of course, the Mavericks district in play now. Here's a keeper by Cardona over on the right side, trying to turn the corner. Has room, hits midfield, and then gets past the line to get for a first down. Finally taken out at the 49-yard line. He's actually a couple of yards shy. They'll mark him down just over midfield at the Nixon 49-yard line. So it's going to be a 3rd and 2 from there. Cardona looking good on that run there. 5:37 left now in the second quarter. Ball will be on the far hash mark. The Mavericks trying to get something going here. They will get the ball first in the second half. So if they can score towards the end of the first half, they can narrow the gap here. Cardona now from the shotgun. Another keeper, this time to the left side. He's got blockers in front of him at the 45, at the 40. Still on his feet near sideline, 35. And as he nears the 30, he gets pushed out of bounds, and flags fly at the end of that play, as Cardona, I think, was pushed when he was already out of bounds by defensive back Eddie Lucio.
Well, that's the first not good decision I've seen tonight by the Mustang defense at the end of that play. Yeah, around the district, Legacy is leading South San 21-0. Southside 6-0 against Southwest. And Medina Valley leads the Martin Tigers 17-0.
Scores from around the Mavericks district. Cardona was pushed out of bounds at about the 30. They'll tack on 15 yards. This ball should end up at the 15-yard line after the penalty. And that is exactly where the officials will spot it. The Mavericks will have a first down from there, and that is their deepest incursion into Nixon territory and already their longest drive of the game. Cardona from the shotgun takes the snap, hands off to Robinson. Robinson bounces, tries to move left, and he's brought down at about the 18-yard line. Number 19 in on that tackle, linebacker J.J. Ortiz, as well as number 22, Jackson Morin.
You know, Ruben, and as coaches like to say, the Maverick offense needs to finish. They need to finish this drive in the end zone.
Ball is at the 16. They'll give him a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11 now, with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Cardona from the shotgun has Robinson on his left. It's a keeper again. He'll follow Robinson in the left side of this line. Now cuts upfield, gets inside the 10, and is brought down close to the 5 at the 6-yard line. A 10-yard gain for Cardona there is going to make it 3rd and 1 from there.
Cardona having some success. So, he's on the keepers. He's looking, trying to find his blockers, follow his blockers, cutting one way and another. And so far, he's pretty well. This whole drive has mainly been him.
Of course, Jeremiah Robinson doing a good job blocking for him, too, out in front. 4:18 left in the first half. Mavericks trying to score, knocking on the door here from the 6-yard line on a 3rd and 1. They can still get a first down. Another keeper by Cardona. He'll follow Robinson here to the near side and will be taken out at the 1-yard line. Stretched out the ball here on the near corner to try to score. They're going to mark him out at the 1, and it'll be a 1st and goal for the Mavericks from there. And all of a sudden, the Mavericks have some rhythm with Cardona running the ball.
Yes, and they're at the 1-yard line with a 1st and goal from there with 4 opportunities to put it in the end zone.
3:57 left. Again, if the Mavericks can score here, hold that Nixon defense, the Mavericks will get the ball back first in the second half, and they might be able to close this gap on the Nixon Mustangs. 3:46 left in the first half. Mavericks down 21-0, but they're a yard away from getting on the scoreboard. Cardona from the shotgun has Robinson on his right. He'll take the snap, rolls right, trying now to cut upfield, and he's going to be held up momentarily before finally barreling into the end zone for the Maverick touchdown with 3:28 left, a 1-yard run by Abdiel Cardona that puts the Mavericks on the board. 21-6 the score for now.
An excellent second effort by by Cardona to get in the end zone, Ruben.
They had him held up there for a minute, a whole gaggle of Mustang defenders, and he kept grinding, Morrison kept grinding, and finally made his way into the end zone. On for the point after attempt is number 42, Andres Rodriguez. 3:28 left in the second quarter. And the Mavericks are on the board. 21-6 is the score for now. The point after attempt coming up. Rodriguez with the kick. It is up and good. That makes the score Mustangs 21, Mavericks 7 with 3:28 left in the second quarter. On for the kickoff now is number 82, Daniel Rodriguez. Kick is on its way. It will be fielded at the 15-yard line over on the far side by number 21, Sean Haynes. And Haynes is able to get that ball across the 30 to the 31-yard line is where they'll spot him down, and it's where the Mustangs will start their 5th drive of the game. 3:22 left here in the first half. Mavericks down 21-7.
Number 56, Angel Esquivel, made the tackle there on the return.
Maverick defense hoping to hold on now as the Mustangs start from the 31-yard line. Gonzalez in the shotgun, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Ball on the far hash mark. They'll stand up now, look over to the sideline. Limon will switch from Gonzalez's right over to his left. And there is a flag on the play. There was still time left on the play clock. Early indication is that this is a false start, and we'll get the call from referee Eric Smith. It is indeed a false start. It's going to cost the Mustangs 5 yards. They'll end up at the 26-yard line with a 1st and 15.
The Mavericks would like nothing better than to 3 and out here for the Mustangs, get the football back and try to get it back in the end zone before the half.
Thundering Maverick Band will be performing at halftime. We'll bring that to you live so that you can hear the Maverick Band at halftime. Again, ball on the far hash mark from the 26-yard line. Gonzalez takes the snap, looks right, now looks downfield. There is a pass, and it is incomplete. Nearly caught right at midfield, intended for Thomas Limon.
Tell you what, Ruben, that guy was wide open. That ball hit him in the wrong place, hit him in the hands, and it went right through him. But he was so open that I guess he couldn't believe it.
He wasn't expecting to hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it on the incompletion. The clock stops with 3:17 left in the second quarter. The Mavericks have used 2 timeouts already in this first half, so the clock stoppage is good for them, especially if their defense can get the Mustangs off the field. 2nd and 15 now from the 26-yard line. Man in motion across the formation. The handoff is to Ben Limon, who's going to try to turn the corner over on the far side. Good job by the Maverick defense of stringing him out. Number 31, Jaime Barrientos, the linebacker, in among the Maverick tacklers, along with Alan Vielma, and it brings up now a 3rd and long for the Mustangs.
This time they did string him out. He was not able to cut the corner on the far side of the field.
Ball's at the 28 now. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 13 for the Mustangs with 2:48 and counting here left in the first half. Gonzalez will have 3 men to the right side of the formation with the ball on the far hash mark. Awaiting the shotgun snap. Drops back. Drifts to his left. There is a pass, and it is caught by Aldana at the 48-yard line. There is a flag there. We'll wait to see what the official calls, but Aldana came open, and Gonzalez found him on the deep out route.
Let's see what we have here. We might have an offensive pass interference.
It might be that's how Aldana had that much space to catch the football if he pushed off on, I think it was Salayandia who was on him over on the far side.
And they're talking about it, so I'm sure that if it were the other way around, they'd immediately know that Nixon would probably decline the penalty.
That's right. That's what they're talking about. 2:29 left in the first half. We're going to get the call from our referee, Eric Smith. There was some jostling over on the far side.
Oh, it's against the Mavericks.
And I think it's going to go against the Mavericks.
Oh, there's actually 2 penalties. Am I right?
Well, the Mavericks looks like, or rather the Mustangs looks like they declined the penalty and took the result of the play, which is the 48. 20-yard gain on that catch from Aldana. 2:28 left in the first half. The Mustangs have a first down at their own 48-yard line close to midfield. The Mustangs have all 3 timeouts left in the first half. Here's the snap. Quickly turns Gonzalez. The pass is caught by Haynes down at about the 40-yard line and is finally brought down at the 38 by number 43, Luis Flores.
The the Mustang receivers doing an excellent job of finding the seams in this pass defense. They really are.
They're sitting in the zones and finding some space, and Gonzalez is finding them in that space. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the 38-yard line. Gonzalez this time has Aldana in the slot over to his left, and Haynes spread out wide here on the bottom of the formation. Gonzalez rolling left, keeps his eyes downfield, pointing now, and the pass is caught at the 29-yard line by Brandon Pulido. And the Mavericks are going to use, not a timeout there. There's actually an injured player
We'd have
over at about the 28-yard line.
Defensive back is down. It was on the play.
Line of scrimmage is a 29. It'll be a 2nd and 1 when we're ready to play again for the Mustangs. Parents' night here at Kozel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. We want to thank you for joining us on Eagle Pass Sports Central. We saw that a lot of you joined us for the prediction show yesterday, and we're so glad on Wednesday, actually, this week, 2 days ago. Of course, yesterday the Eagles were in action down in Laredo, a 49-14 victory for them. Coach Tom Gonzalez's 100th career head coaching victory. Our congratulations to him, as this young man will come towards the Mavericks sideline with help from the training staff.
He is coming off pretty much on his own power. It just looks like an ankle injury. And at the beginning, it didn't look really good until he was able to get up and you saw him move that leg, that ankle.
So it's good to see him walking off the field more or less under his own power. Certainly doesn't need to be helped off or carted off the field. Always a positive for the Mavericks. 2nd and 1 from the 29-yard line for the Mustangs. Ball will be on the far hash mark. A minute 19 left in the first half, in which the Mavericks trail 21-7. Gonzalez will be set up in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers here to the near side. He's got Haynes and Pulido here, and Aldaña and Limon over on the left side. Ben Limon in the backfield with Gonzalez on his left. Clock is wound now. A minute 15 left in the half. Gonzalez takes the snap, looks left, pumps once, now comes over to the left side, looking for Aldaña there, and the pass is broken up. Great job over on that side by Michael Hernandez, it looks like.
Almost an interception there. And I kind of wish he had held on to it, even if it was in the end zone, because that would have wiped out the Mustang threat here.
Alan Alonso with the breakup of that pass over on the far side. The incompletion stops the clock. It's a 3rd and 1 now for the Mustangs from the 29-yard line. From the pistol formation, the handoff to Limon. Limon gets met at the line of scrimmage, and here comes the cavalry to try to hold them, but Limon keeps grinding and is able to get a first down at the 27-yard line.
You're going to see the Mustangs do some clock management, I'm pretty sure, here, as they would like to try to get in the end zone. We're under a minute here. Kind of surprised they haven't taken a timeout.
Again, the Mustangs have all 3 of their timeouts, 43 seconds left on the clock here in the first half. Gonzalez takes the snap, the handoff again to Limon, right up the middle of the formation he goes, and he's taken down at the 25-yard line. Big number 94, Moises Toscano there on the tackle. And now the Mustangs will take their first timeout of the half with 33 seconds. Second and 1 for the Mustangs now from the 25-yard line. Second and 9, rather. From there comes the defensive pressure. Gonzalez is able to squirm out of it, rolls left. Intended for Aldaña over on the far side, who was on the ground, and Aldaña was in a battle over there with Alan Alonso. There is a flag on the play over on the far sideline.
You know, I kind of saw the play. It did not look intentional. It looked like they called tripping or something on him, but it did not look. They got tangled up.
That's exactly what it looked like from up here. Like they got tangled up. Their legs got tangled up, and Aldaña ended up on the ground. The official, though, throws a flag. It's going to be a hold against the Mavericks. And it'll be 10 yards in the direction of the Maverick end zone. The ball's going to end up at the 15-yard line.
And how important is it for the Mavericks to keep him out of the end zone here?
This Maverick defense has to stand up with 26 seconds left in the first half. First down for the Mustangs. A little screen pass set up for Limon. Limon catches it at the 15, and the Maverick defense does a good job of catching up to him inside the 10 to the 9, and no doubt the Mustangs will use another timeout here. We'll keep it live here.
You know, Ruben, ball's at the 9, just like you mentioned, but a goal line stand here, if you want to call it that, even if it is from the 9-yard line, would be huge for the Maverick defense, as the Mavericks already trailed 21-7 in this ball game.
17 seconds left. The Mustangs should have one timeout left after this one. They're trying to score before the end of the half, which is 17 seconds away, and the Maverick defense trying to stand up. Boy, a little interception or a fumble recovery would really be what the doctor ordered for the Mavericks here this late in the half and this deep in their own territory. Defensive coordinator Rene Ramirez down there orchestrating the defense.
And here they come.
Mustangs will come out from the 9-yard line. "17 seconds left. The Mustangs can still get a first down. Motion before the snap. Limon clearly moved early there, and so the false start is going to cost the Mustangs 5 yards in the opposite direction.
15 seconds left before the end of the half.
Ball's going to end up at the 14-yard line, where it's going to be a 2nd and 9 now from there for the Mustangs, who have a 21-7 lead over the Mavericks. Again, at halftime, Eric Smith, our referee, is going to come here to the near side, and I don't know if it's going to give us an announcement or going to have a conversation with one of his line judges down here. We'll wait for them to wind the clock.
Well, maybe they're putting seconds back on the clock. Is that what's happening, you think?
I don't see him looking up here to tell the press box, to tell the timekeeper to do that.
They put 2 more seconds back on the clock.
They have indeed put 2 more seconds back on the clock. They'll have 17 seconds there now on a 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs. Gonzalez from the shotgun takes the snap, looks left the whole way. There's a pass to Aldaña, and it is caught on the far side of the end zone for the Mustang touchdown.
Mavericks had double coverage over there, but they let him get behind them. And a fine pass again by Gonzalez over to the left corner of the end zone.
That Nixon touchdown comes with 13 seconds left in the second quarter, in the first half. And Aldaña will come back out now to attempt the point after. 27-7 is the Nixon lead for the moment.
And what are they talking about? Did we have a penalty or something?
I see a flag over
in the end zone.
Yeah, 5 yards deep in the end zone, at about near where the catch was made.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be a post-touchdown penalty, I believe. Looks like a celebration penalty.
Yeah,
the touchdown is good.
An unsportsmanlike conduct.
Mm-hmm. Touchdown is good, and Aldaña will come on for the point after. They're going to enforce that on the kickoff. 13 seconds left in the first half here. Aldaña on for the point after attempt. The kick is on its way.
And another penalty.
There is a penalty flag at about the 3-yard line. We'll wait to sort that out before we update our score. 27-7 is the Nixon lead for now. And it looks like Nixon's going to decline whatever that was because everybody's going to their respective sides of the field. The point after will count, and it'll be 28-7 in favor of the Nixon Mustangs. That penalty does go against
the Mavericks, it was a hold.
And we'll await the kickoff after the touchdown. Going to step off the penalty yardage on the celebration penalty after the touchdown against the Mustangs. And so this kick will come from the Mustang 40-yard line. Two men back deep to receive for the Mavericks, standing at about their own 7-yard line. And Alanya will kick off.
They didn't step off a penalty or nothing?
Looks like they stepped off 10 yards. Kickoffs. Vasquez will let that go into the end zone. I believe you're right, partner. I believe there was no step off there on the kickoff. 13 seconds left in the first half. The Mavericks down 28-7, I believe, is what it should be, because the point after attempt was good. Mavericks will start from the 25-yard line. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of play call we get here with 13 seconds left. The Mavericks do have one timeout left in this half. Cardona will be in the shotgun formation with two receivers on either side. Take the snap, keeps it himself, tries the right side of the line. He's at the 30 and then slides at the 34. There is a flag right as he cut upfield at about the 26-yard line, and I believe that's going to be a hold that's going to go against the Mavericks.
A very, I should say, erratic first half for the Mavericks. They have not really been able to get going offensively, and when they do, penalties have hurt them.
Waiting for Eric Smith, our referee, to give us the call here. There are 6 seconds left in the first half. Again, at halftime, the Thundering Maverick Band will be performing. We'll bring that to you. A note of caution.
Oh, this one's going against the Nixon Mustangs. It's the block.
It sure is.
Below the knees.
And so they'll step that off in favor of the Mavericks. The ball is going to end up at the 48-yard line after the penalty.
Coach Eric Villasenor is walking out now, asking the officials something.
He's going to take the final timeout as soon as they wind the clock, or before they wind the clock with 6 seconds left. This will be the Mavericks' final timeout of the half. We do have to let our audience know there is sometimes pre-recorded music at halftime for the dance teams. Because of copyright issues, we are not allowed to broadcast for you live, but we will have the performance from the Thundering Maverick Band as soon as they take the field, so that you're able to enjoy that performance here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Thank you for joining us. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. We saw a whole bunch of folks, Morris, joined us for the prediction show a couple of days ago on Wednesday, and we want to thank all of you who keep tuning in, and our audience keeps growing. We've got folks tuning in from Dallas and College Station and Bryan and down in the Valley and Missouri. A couple of folks from Kansas City and the Jefferson City area tuning in from there. So we're acquiring a national audience here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. 6 seconds left. This should be the last play of the first half. Mavericks come to the line with Cardona into shotgun. He'll take the snap. The handoff is to Jeremiah Robinson. He's got a blocker up the middle of the field. He goes at the 40, at the 35, still on his feet, gets inside the 30, and that will be the last play of the first half.
And I'm sure, Ruben, the Mavericks especially are heading into the dressing room with a lot of talk about what they need to adjust, and most especially see what the Maverick defense can do to stop this Nixon offense that has put 28 points on the board in the first half.
We'll see you for the second half of action. You'll get to enjoy the Thundering Maverick Band at halftime. In the meantime, all of these broadcasts brought to you by our sponsors.
section of Jocelyn De Hoyos, Albert Perez, and Lina Castillo. Band member of the week is Alejandro Ramos. The band section of the week is the clarinet section. Striking Silver Guard officers are Captain Jasmine Herrera, Co-Captain Carmen Lopez, and Lieutenant Dulce Herrera. Guard members of the week are Anika Alcocer and Jacob Palomo. The band will perform their UIL show, Frida, which includes La Llorona and Estrellita. And now, ladies and gentlemen, stand up and get ready for your CC Winn Thundering Maverick Band.
Salías de Montría, Corona, cuando al pasar yo te vi, hermoso y me llevabas, Llorona, que la Virgen te creí.
CC Winn Maverick Band is under the direction of Ruben Rodriguez, Roberto Rodriguez, Mikey Riley, Jorge Vargas, and Juan de Dios Perez. Color Guard Director is Admiral Vela. The Band Secretary is Ana Martinez. The CC Winn High School Principal is Jesus Diaz, and the Superintendent of Schools is Samuel Mita.
And out onto the field come the CC Winn Mavericks for the second half of action. You got to hear the Thundering Maverick band at halftime. As we go here into the third quarter, Morris, Mavericks are going to get the ball back first, and hopefully they'll be able to, they'll have made some adjustments at halftime to be able to make some noise here early on in the second half.
Well, I think it's going to be real important that they get the football on their opening drive of the second half and put some points on the board to cut into this 28-7 deficit right now. That with the type of running game that the Mavericks run, it's you really have to get started early in the half to try to make up a 21-point deficit.
Let's see what the Maverick offense can do here as they get ready to receive this kickoff. Aldaña, the all-around athlete for the Nixon Mustangs, will be kicking off to start the second half. Two men back here to receive for the Mavericks. It's number 12, Arandu Pace. And on this side, it looks like it's number 17, Fernando Vasquez. As we get set for the kickoff here in the second half, Mavericks down 28-7. I want to thank all of you who are joining us on Eagle Pass Sports Central, live on Facebook and on YouTube. Kickoff is on its way. It will be fielded by one of the up men. That's Chavez, number 10. Takes it from about the 16-yard line, goes to the middle of the field. I'm sorry, Brian Cruz, number 10. And he'll end up at the 20-yard line. 22 is what they'll give him. That's where the Mavericks will start their first drive of the second half.
And again, Ruben, the Mavericks, I'm sure, went in and they talked at halftime. I think they're going to change their offensive scheme a little bit here, try to get a little bit more diversified, especially try to get those 4 or 5 yards on first down that will make a third down more manageable.
We'll see if they can get themselves in, as you're saying, manageable down and distance situations. To the 30-yard line goes the ball carrier. That's Cardona with the ball, and he'll get it to the 29 is where they'll stop him. A 7-yard gain there brings up 3rd and 3 for the Mavericks.
Lined up in the shotgun with 2 backs with him that actually were leading the charge as lead blockers coming to the near side of the field for Cardona.
11:24 left in the third quarter. The Mavericks trying to get something started here as they open up the second half with this offensive possession. Ball at the 29-yard line, 2nd and 3 from there. Cardona again will be in the shotgun with a running back on either side of him. Here's a little toss to Jeremiah Robinson. Robinson trying to turn the corner at the 25, goes upfield now. And boy, Morris, this Nixon defense has really had Jeremiah Robinson's number all game long.
Well, you had a blocker in front of him that actually did not hold the block long enough, and that defensive back slid off that block and caught and collared Jeremiah from behind.
They'll give him the 30. It's going to be a 3rd and 2 now from there. Just underway in the second half. Mavericks trail 28-7. We'll have some score updates for you from around the area. Of course, the Eagles were down in Laredo last night, came away with a 49-14 victory over Edinburgh North. Cardona from the shotgun. Keeper all the way trying to follow his blockers. Now turns upfield right at the 30, and he's brought down at the 31. He's going to be a yard shy of the line to get for a first down.
Let's see where they spot this football. They are, like you mentioned, going to give him the 31. And wow, do we go for on 4th down here?
You're deep in your own territory, but I think at this point, down this many points, you've got a little momentum here. You've got a little offensive rhythm. Might be the chance to do it from here. Cardona going into the huddle with the play call from offensive coordinator Heriberto Royce.
A gutsy call here.
4th and 1. They might be trying to draw them off sides and see if that works. Cardona under center. The handoff is to Robinson, and Robinson reaches out, and it's going to depend on the spot. I see the official on the near side marking the 32. If that's the case, that's a first down. And they should move the chains. They might need to measure. I think they're gonna either bring in the chains, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna measure. The nose of the football is at the 32.
And I don't think so. I think I think they're gonna be short. The ball is inches away from the 32.
It's gonna be by a couple of links either way on that chain. Either this ball will go over on downs, or the Mavericks will have a first down here at the 32-yard line. 9:29 left in the third quarter.
Hate to be pessimistic, but I don't think so.
You got to keep the faith, partner, until the officials tell you otherwise. They'll stretch the chains. And the Mavericks are going to come up just
half a football,
by even less than that, probably just by a couple of inches. The ball will go over on downs.
So the Mavericks rolled the dice early in the second quarter by going on fourth down deep in their territory and come up inches short on a fourth down and about 1.
And we can say that the Mustangs are going to take this over at the 31 3/4 line, probably, because if they were taking over at the 32, the Mavericks would have a first down. From the pistol now, Gonzalez in his first action in the second half. Fakes the handoff. The pass is overthrown to Haynes down here on the near sideline. The pass falls incomplete. There's a new running back in the backfield. Alex Flores is in there now with Gonzalez. We saw Ben Limon a lot in the first half. No sign of Limon so far in the second half.
We did see number 21, Sean Haynes, with a big push-off that he got away with.
2nd and 10 now for the Mustangs. That battle down here will be interesting to keep looking at with Haynes, number 21. The handoff is to Flores. Up the middle of the formation he goes. He'll be brought down at the 31-yard line. Angel Cavazos in on that tackle.
Number 3 is Limon, of course, is the one sharing duties now with number 8.
Alex Flores will go off the field, and in comes Ben Limon on a 3rd and 9 for the Mustangs. Ball is at the 31-yard line. 3 receivers on the far side. Here's the snap. The handoff is to Limon. He'll go right up the middle and be brought down at the 29-yard line is where they'll mark him down. Again, number 57, Angel Cavazos, in on that tackle. And now it'll be interesting to see what Nixon does. Obviously, they're keeping their men on the field from the 29-yard line on a 4th and about 7.
Maverick defense, very patient. He has that hard count.
Empty backfield for Gonzalez. All of his men are out in receiver formations. Quick pass to Pulido down here, and Pulido makes the catch at the 20 and is able to get inside the 15 to the 13-yard line for the Nixon first down.
No doubt that he was going to pass the football there, as he had receivers split wide to both sides and nobody in the backfield.
Quickly to the line come the Mustangs. Line of scrimmage is the 13. Gonzalez sends out his receivers. He's got Limon on his right from the shotgun. The look over to the side again. 13 seconds on the play clock. 7:36 left here in the third quarter. The Mustangs on the move in Maverick territory. Gonzalez drops back, looks left, still looking that way. He's got Aldaña in the end zone, and Aldaña drops the touchdown pass about 8 yards deep over in the far corner of the end zone. Incomplete pass.
Gonzalez had to throw that over the defensive back, over the left shoulder of Aldaña, one of the few times that Aldaña actually, hasn't produced.
Had really good touch, that pass, and Aldaña just couldn't pull it in. Gonzalez again to the line from the shotgun. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. That's Aldaña split wide. Actually, 1 receiver split wide right here, and a wingman in front of Limon. Limon takes the handoff, goes up the middle of the formation, and he's brought down at the 10-yard line in among those group of tacklers, number 56, Angel Esquivel, and number 31, Jaime Barrientos. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 now for the Mustangs.
7 minutes here to go here in the third quarter.
Ball is at the 10-yard line. It's a 3rd and 7 for Nixon. 14 seconds left on the play clock. Gonzalez moves Limon behind him. They'll be in the pistol formation now. Haynes split out wide right here on the near side. Gonzalez rolls left, looking in the end zone. The pass is tipped and nearly intercepted by Jonathan Salayandia. A great job of getting in front of that intended for Aldaña in the end zone.
It's 4th down here, and it's going to be interesting to see if they go for a field goal or just go on 4th down to try to put another 7 points on the board.
Well, Gonzalez and Aldaña are staying on the field, but that's okay because Gonzalez is the holder and Aldaña is the kicker. So even though that main part of the offense is on the field, they're going to put this down, it looks like at about the 16. This is a 26-yard field goal attempt for Aldaña, the left-footed kicker. There is the snap, the hold on a tee, and the kick is no good. So the Maverick defense holds here with 6:31 left on the clock. The Maverick offense will come onto the field. Here comes the Maverick offense from the 20-yard line. The keeper by Cardona, stiff arms man at about the 21, and then over on the far side of the field is finally brought down at the 29-yard line. A 9-yard gain on the carry there for the quarterback Cardona.
Cardona showed good speed as he went to the far side of the field, cut inside, and gains the 29, just short of a 1st down.
2nd and 1 now for the Mavericks. Ball on the far hash mark. That's really about the only offensive weapon they've had so far in this game is Cardona running with the football. 3 receivers here to the near side, 1 split out wide right over on the far side of the formation. Cardona takes the snap. The handoff is to Jeremiah Robinson. Robinson squeezes through the first line of defenders and is able to get some running room on the opposite side of that. Number 33, Jose Martinez, the defensive back there for the stop.
Robinson came out of that line like he was squeezed out of a tube, didn't he? Huh?
He sure did. And if he had kept grinding, he had some green in front of him.
Right.
He was already at that 3rd level. The defensive backs had to come in and stop him. 5:25 left in the 3rd quarter. Mavericks down 28-7. Here is Cardona on a 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Cardona drops back to pass, looks left. Here's the pass down the near side, and it is through the hands of the intended receiver, Vasquez, who had a step on his man. Carrillo there with the coverage, but the pass comes up incomplete.
Tell you what, between Vasquez and Carrillo, an awful lot of pushing and shoving over here down on that 1-and-1 coverage down the near sideline.
Man-to-man down here, and they were jostling an awful lot, but Vasquez had managed to get just enough clearance and separation to get it to make an attempt at that ball. Just went through his hands. 5:10 left in the 3rd quarter. Mavericks down 28-7. They have a 2nd and 10 here from the 37-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark. 3 receivers to the short side of the field. 1 split out wide left here. This is a keeper by Cardona. He's got blockers in front of him, and he's met at the line of scrimmage by number 22, Jackson Morin, and the linebacker brings him down at the 39-yard line. A gain of a couple of yards will bring up a 3rd and 8 now for the Mavericks.
Jackson Morin with a really high tackle. I can't say he collared him, but he cut him around the shoulder pads and brought him down, rode him down to the ground.
Wrestled him down to the ground it's going to be a 3rd and 7 now for 3rd and 8 for the Mavericks. And now we've got a penalty. They're stepping off some yardage against the Mustangs.
Big one, too.
It's a 15-yarder, a personal foul there, puts the Mavericks in Mustang territory at the 46-yard line, and the Mavericks have a 1st and 10 from there.
Mavericks get a break as the official winds the clock.
Cardona will come to the line. The line of scrimmage is a 46-yard line. He's in the shotgun. 3 receivers here to the near side, and Robinson on his left. The snap, Cardona drops back, looks right. There's the pass. It is incomplete, wide of his intended target, Sebastian Vasquez.
Actually had him open as he ran a curl over there and came back toward the ball, but the ball was thrown to the sideline and was not able to get over there and make the catch.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 from there for the Mavericks. 4:43 left now into third quarter. This is the Mavericks' 2nd drive of the second half. Got a 1-yard touchdown run by Cardona, the only score so far for the Mavericks. Here's Cardona trying the left side of the line. He's got blockers, now cuts north and south inside the 40, inside the 35, still on his feet at the 25. As he nears the 20, he's escorted out of bounds with 4:35 left here in the third quarter. They'll give him the 22-yard line, but more importantly, on that 19-yard gain, it's a 1st down for the Mavericks.
He came to the near side of the field, and he squirted from between 2 of his blockers. It turned on the speed and then headed for the sideline.
21-yard gain for Cardona, and the Mustangs use their first timeout of the second half. So here are the Mavericks now after the Mustangs' first timeout of the second half. From the 22-yard line, Cardona with the keeper up the middle, now cuts right, headed towards the far corner of the end zone, stretches out to see if he can get it. He's pushed out of bounds at the 1, and I think the official is calling this a fumble through the back of the end zone, and a touchback is the initial call from the official over on the far sideline. I think Cardona lost the ball right before he went into the end zone. The ball went through the end line.
Right inside the pylon, right?
It went through inside the pylon, but he didn't go through with it. The ball went through on its own, and that's going to be a touchback. The Mustangs will recover.
So that means that he fumbled before he got to the goal line.
Exactly.
He did not break the plane of the goal line. And, wow, what a turn of events. Just a tough break for the Mavericks, who looked like they were on their way to score a touchdown here.
You got to hand it to Cardona. He stretched out to try to make the pylon, and in the process, the ball came loose before he reached the goal line with possession. The ball went through the back of the end zone, and it's a touchback. The Mustangs are at the 20-yard line now with 4:26 left in the third quarter. High snap for Gonzalez. He brings it down and hands it off to Limon, it should be. Coming out from underneath that pile, and Limon gets to the 22. Number 57, Angel Cavazos in on the tackle.
So instead of the Mavericks being 28-14, the defense now has to just do a not really outstanding job here on the Nixon offense.
2nd and 8 for the Mustangs with 3:56 left in the third quarter. Ball is at the 22-yard line. From the pistol formation, Gonzalez takes the snap, fakes the handoff, now goes to Aldaña over on the far side on the little screen, and Aldaña gets across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Therefore, the tackle is number 31, Jaime Barrientos.
Critical third down here, you might say, for the Maverick defense. Third and about 3.
They have to hold him here on 3rd and 3. The ball is at the 27-yard line on the far hash mark. Gonzalez from the pistol again. The handoff to Limon. Limon on the left side of the line. Ball is loose at about the 34-yard line, and we'll see if the Mavericks are able to recover. And it looks like still no official word from the officials down there. They're going to say, I think, that the Mustangs fell on it. And it is Nixon ball, and it is a first down at the 33-yard line.
Mavericks, some of the Mavericks were pretty sure they had got that football.
First down, quickly to the line come the Mustangs. Gonzalez with 2 receivers here to the right, and Aldaña split out wide left at the top of your screen. Here is a handoff to Limon right up the middle of the formation. He goes. And he'll get to near midfield at the 48-yard line, a 15-yard gain for Limon.
Limon came right up the middle and broke through that first line of defense and then just kept chugging to get in outside the 45.
First down for the Mustangs from their own 48. Flags fly here. False start probably on Haynes, who was here nearest to the sideline official on the home sideline. And it's going to be 5 yards against the Mustangs. 1st and 15 coming up from the 43.
So the Mavericks get a breather here.
2:21 left in the third quarter. Gonzalez from the shotgun, awaiting the snap. Here's a handoff to Limon. Limon tries the far side. Flag on the play as Limon tries to turn the corner. And we'll see what the call is there.
That's usually in the area of holding. We'll see what the call is here. Maybe the Mavericks will get a little bit more help. Oh, I think it's a face mask. Oh, no, it's against the Nixon Mustangs with a hold.
So the Mustangs, again, will go 10 yards in the opposite direction. Ball is from the spot of the hold, so the ball stays at the 43, and it'll be now a 2nd and 15. Gonzalez in the pistol. Takes the snap. The handoff is to Limon, and caught in the backfield there by Michael Hernandez, the defensive end. A loss of a bunch of yards all the way back here to the 40.
No, he was coming from this near side of the field from the very beginning and got him from behind.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 18 now for the Mustangs. Gonzalez from the shotgun.
With receivers split to both sides, you'd think they're going to throw the football.
He'll put a man in motion. Comes here to this side. The pass is caught at the 41-yard line by number 25, Brandon Pulido, the man who was in motion pre-snap. And the Mustangs are inside the Maverick 40 now at the 39-yard line.
Got just enough for the first down on that catch.
In plus territory now are the Mustangs. Some scores from around the Mavericks region. 5A District 13. Medina Valley leading the Martin Tigers 24-0 in the fourth quarter. Gonzalez again will be in the pistol formation here. Two receivers over to the top side. One split out wide right here. That's Haynes. The handoff again to Limon, who gets met in the backfield. We'll get a number for you from that knifing defender. Looked to be number 31, Jaime Barrientos. 57 is the man on the tackle, Angel Cavazos. That ball ends up on the 41-yard line, a loss of a couple of yards, and that is the last play of the third quarter. We'll keep it right here for you as we quickly switch sides of the field, and we'll tell you that San Antonio South side, the Cardinals are leading Southwest, San Antonio Southwest 12-7. Legacy has beaten South San 35-12. And, of course, the score here, 28-7. We'll try to get you some scores from the Eagles district. Mavericks, is always, doing their four-quarter sign. San Marcos, by the way, is beating Laredo Alexander 31-14. The Eagles will be in San Marcos next Friday in a game that we're going to bring to you live here on Eagle Pass Sports Central.
As we travel, we go on the road this next week to go bring you the Eagles against San Marcos in San Marcos.
So we've switched sides of the field. The Mustangs going from right to left on your screen now at the 41-yard line. 2nd and 12 coming up for Nixon. Three receivers all stacked up on the right side of the formation, and Haynes split out wide left here to the near side. Here's a handoff to Limon. He's got room at the 35, at the 30. Flag on the play. I think that's going to be a hold that's going to bring it back, and all of a sudden, Morris, here deep in the second half, we've got a lot of sloppiness and a lot of flags slowing down the pace of play.
A lot of yellow hankies all of a sudden. And, of course, this one is going to help the Maverick defense very much so.
Again, from around the Eagles district, East Central leading Del Rio 24-0. Shirts beating Laredo United 24-14. Ball's going to end up at the 48-yard line after that penalty, back in Mustang territory. 2nd and 12 from there after the penalty. Harlingen beat United South 21-7. There's a handoff to Limon, has a blocker in front of him, gets to midfield, gets to the 45, and then is finally dragged down close to the 40 by number 31 there for the Mavericks, Jaime Barrientos.
He grabbed him from the jersey and held on for dear life to bring him down at the 40.
Limon, the workhorse for the Mustangs this half. 3rd and 11 now. Limon gets the ball again, and the Maverick defense will bring him down after a gain of only a yard to the 39. Moises Toscano in on that tackle.
So the Maverick defense trying valiantly to hold the Nixon Mustangs here. We are 10:35 left here in the football game in the fourth quarter.
This is a long drive for the Mustangs. It started at their own 20 with 4:26 left in the third quarter. We're now 10:26 into the final quarter. The Mustangs are going to go for it on 4th and 10 here from the 39-yard line in Maverick territory. They'll try to gain some yards. Plus, of course, they're going to call a timeout right before the play clock expires. The play clock is now at 2. They might end up with a delay of game. We'll see if they got the timeout called before then. They will take the delay of game. It'll get them 5 yards of breathing room for the punt that Aldana will be kicking here from right about midfield.
So that was perfectly planned to have the delay of game. And Aldana now on about his own 42-yard line. Number 9 is back for the Mavericks, Jonathan Salayandia.
Low snap for Aldana, is able to pick it up off the ground, send a line drive punt all the way to the far side of the field. Fielded there by Alan Alonso, and Alonso takes it down the far sideline. Might have looked for a late hit there at about the 25-yard line, but nothing doing. There is a flag down here on the near sideline, way far away from the action, and we'll see what happens here.
That one came from the line judge over here, didn't it?
I think there might have been some extracurricular activity between whoever the two cover men were down here.
And we'll see what's going to happen here.
LBJ beat Edinburgh Economides 42-0. And so if all of these scores hold, the Eagles and LBJ will be the only two teams in that district to have won this weekend. Of course, the Eagles won last night 49-14 down in Laredo.
That was an illegal procedure against the Nixon Mustangs.
They're going to re-kick. They'll put the ball now.
You know, what's so unusual about it is to let the play continue.
They did.
So the Mavericks could probably say, hey, let me decline the penalty, huh?
They could and just get the ball. Ball is now, the line of scrimmage is at the 49. They're going to have Aldana kick it again. Two men back there for the Mavericks. Alonso ran it back the last time, was on the other end zone from where Aldana is. This time it's a high snap. Aldana with the punt rush coming, booms it high. It hits at the 10-yard line, and the Mustangs will down it at the 1-yard line, just shy of the end zone. And the Mavericks are going to have a 99-yard drive if they want to get to the opposite end zone and score some
Well, that ball just didn't bounce the Mavericks' way, did it? It just stayed there, and allowed the coverage team to down it at the 1.
Good coverage by the Mustang special teams unit there, surrounding that football and making sure it didn't roll into the end zone. And so the Mavericks will start from the shadow of their own goalpost at the 1-yard line. 9:42 left here in the ball game. Mavericks are down 28-7. It is the fourth quarter. Cardona will run it from inside his own end zone, turns a corner over on the far side, nears the 5-yard line.
So he gets some breathing room for the Maverick offense.
A little breathing room for the Mavericks there after that run by Cardona, who's really been the main weapon for the Mavericks here in the second half. The ball is at the 5-yard line, a 4-yard gain for Cardona there. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Mavericks. 9:36 left in the ball game. And the Mavericks have a long way to go if they want to narrow this Mustang lead. Cardona now from the shotgun, standing inside the end zone. Will take the snap, fakes the handoff to Robinson, rolls right. Here comes the defensive pressure. The pass is incomplete, intended at the 15-yard line for Sebastian Vasquez. Cardona felt the pressure there in the end zone.
He felt the pressure rolling to his right, had pursuit on him. I was about to say before that play that the Mavericks are going to have to open this up and go to the air if they hope to try to get back in this football game with 9 minutes left.
They're going to have to spread that offense out and start getting a little vertical if they want to score some points before the end of the ball game. 9:31 left before the end of the game. Mavericks trail 28-7 in what is their first district game of the season. They were off last week. They had an open week after a heartbreak of a loss in Uvalde a week before that. Here's Cardona again from his own end zone, steps up. The pass is on its way, and it is caught by Vasquez at the 31, and he's got running room in front of him. He's got open field. He's going to be brought down finally at about the 25-yard line, inside the 25. A great catch and run by Vasquez on that play.
Had 1-and-1 coverage at about the 40-yard line in Maverick territory, and he found the football, caught it in traffic.
There's a flag inside the end zone.
Uh-oh.
They're going to move the chains. It's going to be against Nixon. roughing the
rough.
passer against the Mustangs, and that's going to add 15 yards to the end of this catch and run by Fernando Vasquez and the Mavericks. Well, that's how you make up 90-some yards real fast, partner, isn't it?
Very quickly. As the drive started at the 1, it's now at the 11. So, you were mentioned it a while ago that they were going to have to go 99 yards to get into the end zone.
And all of a sudden, they're only 11 yards away with 9:11 left still here in the ball game. The Mavericks come to the line of scrimmage. They can still get a first down at the 1-yard line. Cardona from the shotgun. He'll take the snap, drops back, looks left, goes that way into the end zone, and it is tipped and intercepted about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Number 32, junior defensive back Edgar Chavez with the interception, and it's the second time the Mavericks have turned it over near the end zone. It'll go over to the Mustangs at the 20-yard line.
The ball was tipped, and it went up in the air, and the defensive back reached out, kept his feet in bounds, and made the interception.
It was batted in the air, and that allowed the defensive back to, as you said, catch it and tiptoe inside before going out of bounds. And so Nixon now will start from their own 20-yard line with 8:54 left in the ball game. Gonzalez still in the game. From the shotgun, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. 8:54 left in the ball game, and the Mustangs running the play clock under 5 seconds rather. Limon bounces right after the handoff, takes off north and south, and is brought down just shy of the 30 at the 29-yard line. And on that tackle was number 31, Jaime Barrientos.
Ruben, you look back, 2 possible, probable touchdowns by the Mavericks would have made this a really interesting football game.
It would have made it close. A fumble very near to the end zone, and now the interception here in the end zone. Those are 2 touchdowns, like you mentioned, partner, that come off the board, and this would have been a 1-score game in all likelihood. Gonzalez again from the shotgun, 8:17 in the ball game left and counting, under 4 seconds left in the play clock. From the far hash mark, Gonzalez, swing pass down here to Pulido, and Pulido makes the catch at about the 29, comes to the near side, and is finally brought down at the 35-yard line by Isaac Maldonado.
Enough for the first down to change move. But more important than that, he stayed in bounds, and the clock keeps running.
7:52 and ticking now. No men in the backfield with Gonzalez. 2 receivers here to the near side. 3 over to the far side of the formation, the right side of the Mustang formation. They'll look over to the sideline for the adjustment. Gonzalez drops back, looking for the screen, and it's dropped, intended for Aldaña at about the 33-yard line, who had some blockers and some running room in front of him.
A little slant screen over on the far side, like you mentioned, and hit him right in the hands. And he dropped it.
Dropped. Clock stops on the incompletion. 7:32 left in the ball game, with the Mavericks trailing 28-7. Ball on the near hash mark. Gonzalez in the shotgun. This time he's got Limon on his right. 3 receivers to the right side of the formation, and Haynes split out wide left here. High snap. Gonzalez brings it down, hands it off to Limon, who's at the 40-45 midfield into Maverick territory. 40-35, 30-25, still tiptoeing down the sideline, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
We found out something tonight about number 3, Ben Limon. He is fast.
Once he turns on the jets, as he did there, once he clears that first line of the defense, then he gets really fast on you. And as he did there, all the way to the 17-yard line. First down from there for the Mustangs. 7:23 left in the ball game. We'll have a stoppage here. And one of these teams has called a timeout. Official Eric Smith hasn't told us who yet. That was a timeout on the Mustangs. That's their on the Mavericks. That's should be their second timeout of the half. 7:23 left in the ballgame. Mavericks down 28-7. .23 left in the ball game. Mavericks down 28-7, and the Mustangs threatening here in the red zone. Ball is at the 17-yard line where they have a 1st and 10. Gonzalez looks left. He's going to let a pass go into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Haynes. There, good coverage by Luis Leos, the defensive back there, fighting one-on-one with Sean Haynes. Pass falls incomplete, and the clock stops with 7:18.
Clock is at 7:18, like you mentioned, and 28-7 if you just joined us. Nixon leading the Mavericks.
2nd and 10 now for Gonzalez, who's in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, the handoff to Limon. Right up the middle of the formation he goes, and he's brought down there after gaining a couple of yards by Angel Cavazos, who's been solid in the middle of that line for the Mavericks today. Ball is at the 15-yard line. A gain of 2 yards makes it 3rd and 8 coming up for the Mustangs. 6:58 and counting here in the ball game as Nixon comes to the line of scrimmage. He's going to move Tom Limon here to the near side, Will Gonzalez, and he's got now 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Aldaña split out wide right and Haynes split out wide left here down to the bottom of your screen. Here is a pass to Limon, and Limon drops that about 4 yards deep in the end zone. Thomas Limon, I think, couldn't see it because it fell right into his hands, Morris, and dropped for the incompletion.
Well, the ball was thrown before he looked back, and then when he looked back, the ball was right on him.
It's going to be a 4th and 8. Aldaña is going to come on for the field goal attempt. Gonzalez will stay on as he is the holder. One thing I noticed, the last field goal, they use a T on their field goal attempts. So Gonzalez gets the snap, and then he's got to tee it up just so on that tee for Aldaña. They're going to spot this. They're going to put this down, rather, at the 22, it looks like. A 32-yard field goal attempt. A little bit of a wonky snap, but Gonzalez gets it down anyway, and the kick is up and good. A 32-yard field goal makes the score Nixon 31, Mavericks 7 with 6:31 left in the ballgame. (31-7) is the Nixon lead now after that 32-yard field goal attempt. This kickoff is going to be fielded at the 7-yard line by Vasquez, and Vasquez has room. It's quickly to the 30 to the 35. There's a flag there, probably a hold right at about the 35-yard line or so. Aldaña, the kicker, still down at the 35-yard line. That's going to be bad news for the Mustangs if he can't continue now getting up under his own power, and will try to stay on the field. As we'll find out what this flag is about here. 6:18 left before the end of the ball game. Fernando Vasquez fielded that kickoff at about the 7, brought it straight up field, managed to get past the first line of the Nixon coverage team, and right as he hit the 30-yard line or so, they threw a flag there, and the official, Eric Smith, our referee, will let us know what the flag is all about. 6:18 left in the ball game, and the official's still talking about it down there at about the 37-yard line or so.
And it looks like this is probably going to come back from the point of the infraction.
It's a hold against the Mavericks. 10 yards from the spot of the hold. It's going to put the ball here at the 27-yard line. That's where the Mavericks will start this possession.
Almost a 20-yard difference. That's how much the penalty cost the Mavericks. It's interesting to see if the Mustangs will keep Aldana in the game. He's still limping around in the defensive backfield.
Still there. Here's a run by Cardona, and he gets quickly brought down in the backfield. And it's going to be a loss of 2 yards to the 25.
Aldana still favoring his left leg, left ankle. You'd think that with a 31-7 lead, they would not risk any further injury to one of their key players.
He's their all-around player, and they still have the rest of their district season to go, so they need to make sure to keep him healthy. 5:41 left in the game. Here's the toss to Robinson. Robinson gets north and south at the 25. Still moving the pile all the way to the 39-yard line, a 14-yard gain for Robinson on that carry.
And we might say that on every yard that Jeremiah Robinson has made tonight, he's earned it.
Sure has. They've been keying in on him. The defense has really been able to stop Jeremiah Robinson throughout the game here, and the Mavericks have had to rely on Cardona for most of their offensive production. 5:05 left now in the fourth quarter. Robinson will move to Cardona's right in the backfield. From the shotgun, there's a snap. Cardona here to the near side trying for Carrillo, and rather for Sebastian Vasquez, and Vasquez is unable to come up with that. That ball was going out of bounds anyway, and on the incompletion, the clock stops with 4:51, and it brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Mavericks.
1-and-1 coverage down the near sideline. Number 8, Robert Torres, the Mustang on the coverage.
Ball is at the 40-yard line. As we look ahead to next week, the Eagles will be visiting the San Marcos Rattlers. Timeout called by the Mavericks here with 4:51 left. Partner, that's a game that you and I will be at next Friday up in San Marcos as the Eagles take on the Rattlers, and the Mavericks
Southwest
will be up in the area
at
Southwest. So Cozumel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium will be quiet next Friday night. No game here. We'll be giving you score updates from the Mavericks game, and you can follow all of the Eagles action on Eagle Pass Sports Central, live on Facebook, and live on YouTube.
Eagles play San Marcos, then they have their open weekend, and then after that, their next 5 games are for district. They count. They
finish up with district. They've had a challenging non-district slate, and they've come out so far undefeated, beating the likes of Moody and Bernie Champion, and then last night, Edinburgh North. So the Eagles seem to be on solid footing, at least a couple of weeks away still from their district schedule.
We've talked about it often, about how the diversity of their offense, mixing the running game and the passing game, has just been outstanding in their first 4 games.
They'll look to continue that streak next week in San Marcos. We will be there live to bring you that game from San Marcos. Ball on the near hash mark for the Mavericks at the 40-yard line. 4:51 left in the ball game. 2nd and 10 here. Cardona drops back. There's the pass. He's got Vasquez open. He overthrows him at about the 35-yard line. The pass is incomplete.
The Nixon defensive secondary, I think the main thing in their mind is not to let anybody behind them so they don't get burned deep.
They were step by step there with Vasquez, who was trying to come open down the middle of the field. Cardona on a 3rd and 10 now from the 40-yard line. Little toss to Jeremiah Robinson this way. He's got some blockers in front of him at the 45 at midfield. And into Mustang territory he goes to the 49-yard line. An 11-yard run there for Jeremiah Robinson gets the Mavericks a first down.
He knew where he had to get to, and he lunged forward at the 50 to get to the 49 in Mustang territory to get the first down.
Some college football scores for you. Florida State trailing Louisville 28-21, and Wyoming beating Air Force 17-14.
Interesting games coming this weekend in college football.
We sure do. Here's Cardona back to pass, drops back down the middle again, looking for Sebastian Vasquez over his head. And the pass is incomplete. Clock stops with 4:02 left in the ballgame.
Hey, partner, who's Missouri playing?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
Because
Let's find out who Missouri is playing.
But we know A&M's playing Miami. Going to try to bounce back after that disaster last weekend.
Missouri tomorrow will welcome in Abilene Christian University into Columbia, and so we hope at least that we don't have any Appalachian style surprises over there in Columbia. Here's Cardona with the keeper, the quarterback sweep over to the left side of the line, tries to turn the corner now and go north and south. He'll get a couple of yards to about the 47.
What do you think about that, UTSA in Texas?
UTSA has been very resilient early on in the season. It's taken a bunch of teams into overtime. If the Longhorns aren't careful tomorrow at Darrell K. Royal, the Roadrunners could do the same to them.
And the A&M's changing quarterbacks. They're bringing in a LSU transfer.
So Haynes King had his chance, and old Jimbo there has decided to go a different direction. Here is Cardona with the toss to Jeremiah Robinson. Nothing doing there as Robinson is brought down at the line of scrimmage by Marco Dominguez, the senior defensive lineman. That brings up a 4th and 8 now for the Mavericks, and you expect their defense to stay on the field.
They've run that little toss to Robinson to the right side about 2 or 3 times, but that time the Nixon defense defensed it really, really well, went to the well one too many times.
Ball at the 48-yard line here on the near hash mark, 2:38 left in the ball game. 4th and 9 after a loss of a yard on that carry by Robinson. Cardona steps up in the pocket. The pass is incomplete, intended at about the 29-yard line or so, right down the middle of the field for Juan Gonzalez, the junior wide receiver, and the ball will go over on downs.
So we're getting down to 2:25. The clock stops on the incompletion as the ball goes over to the Nixon Mustangs, who looks like have come here tonight and are going to leave here with a victory tonight.
Tried to look for Coach Oki Villaseñor over on the far sideline. I don't know if he is on the sideline or if he's up in the booth.
He's the only white-haired guy over there.
2:25 left on the clock here in the ball game. Mavericks down 31-7. Gonzalez still in the ball game in the pistol formation, and he'll hand off to Flores, number 9, who has subbed in for Ben Limon, who's got to be over 100 yards easily in this ball game on the ground. And Flores gets back to the line of scrimmage to 48. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs.
No, Ruben, Coach Oki Villaseñor has to be happy with his defense. He's a co-defensive coordinator for the Mustangs. They've done a have held the Mavericks to 7 points here tonight.
Under 2 minutes, a minute 55 left in the ball game now. And the Mustangs in no particular hurry. If you Texas State fans, the Red Raiders will be headed to North Carolina State tomorrow to meet the Wolfpack. Fumble, ball is on the ground, and the Mavericks might have recovered this at the 45-yard line as Flores put it on the ground.
As they wrapped them, they reached around them, and the ball popped out.
The first turnover of the ball game for the Mustangs. The Mavericks have a couple of turnovers already in this game, but with a minute 35 left, the Mavericks hoping to get a couple of more points on the board here before the end of the ball game.
Mavericks trying to finish out on a positive note here tonight before they start preparing for Southwest.
Cardona takes the snap, rolls to his right, looking downfield. There's the pass. It is incomplete, out of bounds, intended for Juan Gonzalez. And partner, we didn't mention this at the top of the broadcast, but we want to wish a happy Independence Day to all of our listeners in Mexico.
Piedras Negras in Mexico. 16 de septiembre.
Día de la Independencia celebrated in Mexico, our neighbor to the south here. And a lot of folks here in Eagle Pass today taking advantage of the day off and spending time here in Eagle Pass. And we want to wish all of our listeners from Piedras Negras in Mexico the best and a happy Independence Day. A minute 30 left now in the ball game. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Mavericks. Cardona with the pass. Pass is caught by Vasquez at the 30. Vasquez still on his feet. Drags a bunch of tacklers with him, still on his feet. He'll be given forward progress to the 17-yard line. Fernando Vasquez with the second great catch and run of the ball game.
Good catch. Took 6 Mustangs to bring him down over there.
First down from the 17 now. For the Mavericks with a minute exactly left on the clock. 3 receivers over to the far side. Cardona from the shotgun takes the snap, looking right the whole way, goes towards the end zone, and it is incomplete, out of bounds, intended for Sebastian Vasquez down here on the near corner.
When you look around the district, Southside, by the way, is beating Southwest 20-7. Southwest, the Mavericks' opponent for next week.
And San Marcos is beating Del Rio. Oh, I'm sorry, Laredo Alexander. That game a little closer now, 31-28 down in Laredo between Alexander and San Marcos. 50 seconds left on the clock here. Cardona will take it himself, puts his shoulder down as he nears the 15, and they'll give him forward progress to the 16. The ball might be out down there. There's a scrum, but it looks like the Mavericks will come up with it. And again, they'll give Cardona forward progress of a yard to the 16-yard line.
Another final, Medina Valley 38, Laredo Martin 0. And Legacy defeated South San 45-19.
Timeout called on the field for the Mavericks. That should be their last one of the game with 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Again, next week we'll have the prediction show. We'll be live on Thursday at 12:30 for Mancita Ford Eagle Pass. And then the following day, Morris, you and I will be making the trip up 57 and 35 all the way to San Marcos. Not to Bobcat Stadium, but to wherever it is at the San Marcos High School Rattlers play, to bring you the action between San Marcos and the Eagles, who hope to stay undefeated in their pre-district season. 42 seconds left here in the ball game as the Mavericks trail 31-7, trying to get a score in before the end of the game. Again, the Mavericks will be in San Antonio next week to face Southwest Legacy High School.
You know, Ruben, one of the keys, what we're looking forward to is, will there be a defense that will stop the Eagle offense?
Well, San Marcos has already given up 28 points to United South. There's a tip in the end zone intended for Fernando Vasquez over there. Pass is incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th and 9.
Double coverage on Vasquez over there.
Laredo Alexander is who San Marcos is playing. And the Rattlers have increased that score now 45-28. Not as close as it was a little while ago. Here's the last shot for the Mavericks. They need to reach the 7-yard line to get a first down and keep this drive going. 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Cardona into shotgun with a running back on either side of him. Looks downfield. Here comes the defensive pressure. Pass falls to the ground, incomplete, as Cardona was in the grasp of a whole bunch of Nixon defenders there, in among them the senior defensive lineman Marco Domingos, the defensive standout for the Mustangs, and the ball will go over on downs with 29 seconds left in the ball game.
31-7 will look like will most surely be our final score here, as I don't look for Nixon to try anything fancy here, just finish up the ball game.
With 29 seconds on the clock, again, this will move the Mavericks to 0-1 in district. The Mustangs will move to 1-1. They lost to Southside last week. They'll have an even record in district. Of course, this kind of packed new district for the Mavericks this year with a bunch of schools in it. And that will be a kneel down for the Mustangs back at the 10-yard line. They will not have to run another play. That should be the final play of the ball game, and it'll make the final score Nixon 31, Mavericks 7. Morris, your thoughts?
Well, most definitely a great defensive job done by the Mustangs on the Maverick offense, most especially on Jeremiah Robinson, who they keyed on all night, made the Mavericks go away from their running game, their strength, which was Robinson, and that put a lot of burden, a lot of pressure on Cardona to have to be. Not only that, it forced the Mavericks to have to throw the football.
As you look forward now to next week, the Mavericks will be up in San Antonio. We mentioned that to play the second of their in-district games against Southwest Legacy. What kind of adjustments are they going to have to make this week?
Well, most definitely they're going to have to look at their offense and see what they can, what adjustments they have to make to diversify it more. They cannot be so predictable that a defense can just key on Jeremiah Robinson and stop your whole offense.
That's right. We'll see if the Mavericks are able to do that in this coming week before going to San Antonio. Again, we will be, first of all, Thursday at the prediction show at Ancira Ford Eagle Pass, and then Friday we'll be making the trip up to San Marcos. Thank you so much for joining us here on Eagle Pass Sports Center. We want to thank our sponsors, Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, Eddie Morales, Poncho Nevares and the Nevares Law Group, Knickerbocker, Heredia, Salinas, and Salinas Border Federal Credit Union, the Maverick County Hospital District, Eagle Pass Storage. We want to thank all of them for sponsoring these broadcasts and for bringing them to you live here on Eagle Pass Sports Central on Facebook and on YouTube. For my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., my name is Ruben Valadez. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening.